charge did he finally steal your heart? Buying rounds, and I heard that you've been down and out. Meanwhile, I've been spending all my time down at the blue light.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Glad to have you, as always, on another exciting video, the Mojo channel. Glad to have you guys back. Now, as you can tell, this video is all about deer feeders. If you're feeding wild deer, turkeys, any other critters, game critters that you're looking for, but this specifically is for the all-new Outcast 350-pound feeder. And just want to take a quick second to thank the guys, the fine folks over at Outcast, because this video replacing this tried and true little Moultrie back here would not be possible, and this content would never happen. So shout out to Outcast, put them right here, go check out the website. But back to the install video. This thing arrived on a pallet. Super, super cool. The driver was kind of put that into the shop for us, and I got a little bit familiar with it before we made this video. But this video today is just to show you just how easy this thing truly is to get out on your property. As you can see, we're back here in the little, small, intimate food plot that we got back here right off a creek. And as you guys can see, we had to do a little bit of clearing in this little food plot. It was a little bit more expansion that I wanted to do, so Dad was kind enough to come over with his chainsaw and get a few little little spruce trees around, little sapling trees. And we just wanted to get out of the way, so when this feeder really had a time to shine, most of the feed, the pellets, the corn, whatever we're putting in it, has a chance to go out, be on the ground, and not get lost in all the scrub brush. So my dad came over with his chainsaw and helped me clear out, get a little bit more of that cul-de-sac effect down there, and cleared off some trees that were, and also overshading the food plot for the winter ryegrass mix that we've got down there this year. So shout out to Dad, the chainsaw, and his time. It made a huge difference installing this feeder. So we're gonna set up a brand new feed station. Now, I'll show you guys. This feeder here has been a tried and true feeder. I think it's about a 120-pound feeder here. On the very top of it, I've got an issue with critters like squirrels trying to get into this here. Let me get this on the ground so you guys can see. Right there, I've had a big issue with squirrels getting into the lid and potentially causing us issues with keeping our corn, our cracked corn, our birdseed, whatever we're doing down here, keeping that stuff as dry as possible is the ultimate goal. So this feeder has been great, but you guys can see the big vital flaw in this. This thing is made out of like a trash can type material plastic, some kind of polymer plastic here, and it's very susceptible to critters getting into it. Also, another flaw that I have found in this thing is the feeder mechanism. Not sure how good this is going to pick up on camera. Sorry guys, it is the afternoon out here. But this has some kind of a critter guard on it, but you can see it's really flawed, very not super stable. Stuff can bang this, and you can see feed is coming out really easily there. There's chew marks all the way around it. There's not even a guard here any longer that is protecting the expensive yellow gold inside of that. So if you guys are like me and have a piece of property where you are feeding animals and you want to make sure that feed, that expensive corn, whatever protein mix, the stuff that you're feeding your animals is expensive. You want to keep that to make it last as long as you can without having to replenish it. This feeder, this install video is for you guys. So if you're like me, replace the feeder, check it out. I'm gonna bring it down here and get my dad down here because it's a little bit heavy, but this install could not be any easier. So with all that said, let's dive into it. Outcast feeder install, let's go. And we got the feeder down here. Dad's here behind the camera with me. The very first thing they recommend is something you don't have to do, because in their video, they don't specify laying it on the lid, but I think this is the best way to do it. And if you're smart enough, you're going to use the packaging like I did. I cut some of the cardboard out so you can see here. So you can see there we use some of the packaging to protect. There's a solar panel on that lid, which we'll go about the features in a minute. But while you've got it upside down on the lid, protect that solar panel. Don't lay it in the dirt, the mud, the rocks, get it scratched up. It's very durable, but while it's new, keep it looking new. So first thing with the package, it's super easy. This thing takes hardly any tools at all to put together. I've got one socket and a little crescent wrench to put the feeder head, the battery, and the legs and the motor on. Super easy, so let's do the motor. I like this design, and it's their patented varm guard. So Outcast calls this their varmint guard motor, And you can see here, there's no corn spilling out like we showed you on the mulch feeder. So when this thing spins, the centrifugal force pushes this plate down, and then it's able to then shoot the corn out and disperse it. But when it's not in use, it sucks back up via this spring. So via this strong spring, it sucks this plate back up, thus the varmint guard. So coons, squirrels, other stuff, like they damage the mulch feeder on the lid, you won't have this on the Outcast feeder. So the first thing you do out of the package, it's pre-packaged, it's all labeled, super nice to use. You're going to use 8 of these small, I think it's 16 millimeter hex head bolts, lock washers, and a regular washer on the outside. So I'm going to show you the motor right here. You get the motor, it's all one package. Just make sure your cord is fed down in there. You're going to need that later to connect it. You line these holes up. There's nothing on the back side, and these are already pre-Loctited. Super, super nice. We're going to go ahead and get some of these started. Backing out. All right, so as we mentioned, super easy to do this on your property, in the field, on the site you're installing the feeder. I've got one, to be technical, one 10 millimeter socket and one crescent wrench that you're only going to need for the leg install. So this couldn't be easier. Keep this in your truck if you got multiple ones of these. Could do this all day installing feeder. So second step while it's on the lid is to do the leg. So let's grab a leg, let's get to it. Those 2 legs are done. See, all right, so you can see here, we've jumped ahead a little bit. We're losing light, trying to get this done for you guys quick. But I'm using the crescent wrench on the back side. Really nice hardware, by the way. Blue Loctite on everything so far. Lock washers, and these have nylock nuts on the back of these legs. So Outcast feeders, they didn't have to do that extra part, but as a company, to show that they care about the hardware that's going to be built to last for your feeder, it's a really nice touch. Yeah, Dad's reminded me that this is also stainless steel hardware too, not some chintzy, cheap bolts and nuts, like some nice hardware that comes with this feeder. All right, so you can see we've got it stood up on as solid ground as we can out here. All right, so this is the cord that feeds into the solar panel. The only downside of this feeder going from my old feeder is that was a 6 volt. This is a 12 volt. Obviously, more RPMs, just a bigger overall feeder. It needs that power to turn that spinner. So we've got the solar cable right here. It's super easy. Plugs into, this is all pre-wired. I'm just hooking up what they had from the factory. And then this goes to your timer, which I have already installed via the instructions. Super easy, and you have 1 through 6 on the program. So I've got 1 here, that's the current time. You've got test, you've got P1. For 8 seconds, I've got it set 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So we got 1 feed time in the morning for this time of year. Now we may adjust that as it gets into the spring, but right now that's what we're running. So we're going to go ahead and get the battery here. This is your standard 12 volt rechargeable type battery from Game Winner. So just go to your local Academy, Bass Pro Shops, whatever, your big box store, pick up one of these. It's made for this. It's perfect how they got this slide-in door right here. So they label these batteries, and you'll see they have little piggyback connectors there as well. So obviously, guys, black, black, red, red. So we've got black sliding on there. Give me a little bit more room here with this wire.
That would be red and then black.
Did I put the wrong one? Oh, yeah. Either way, black, black, red, red, whatever you want to do. We're going to leave that in there. Good comic relief. So this is the piggyback part. So obviously the solar panel that we were protecting earlier in that function, you're going to go negative to negative on the back of this thing, positive to positive. That's literally it. There's not a whole lot of anything else you got to do other than your timer. So I'm going to arrange this where I can come down here and adjust this as easy as whenever I want to, as much as I see pictures on the trail camera or whatever the time of year is. I like how this battery shelf is also very well protected. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm figuring this out for the first time too, guys. So let's see. This is the top. Just like that. Look at that. We've got power. It's pre-lit, backlit. Really, really nice. It shows your battery level, 12 volt, the current time. And I'm gonna probably just hang this out for right now so we can do a little test. Yeah, so I've got a nice place for this to stow into, supposedly. There, look at that. Battery door slides away, nice and protected from all your feed. You've got a safety chain here. You've got metal hinges on the back, but safety chain here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the spinner. That motor is down here. All right, we're gonna go test this thing out. You guys saw slow motion footage, hopefully, but this thing has got about, I would say that was 4 bags and another almost whole bag, so about 250 pounds of corn. Now you can see I've got room in here for more because this is a 350 pound capacity feeder. So one that you kind of set and forget. You got corn in here, you got time, you know, this will last you months versus just a couple of, you know, good weeks of feeding. Now the biggest thing that I love about this feeder is you've got the sight glass. So pulling up on a four-wheeler, passing by one on your truck, you don't have to get out and manually check the feeder to see what level or look at a timer to see what the estimated days of feeding left are. You can visually see it through the sight window. Also, I love the open top design. If you do have to get in here, change the time of day when the time changes on you. You've got this really cool open and close spring, so there's 0 critters getting up in here. Also, the varm guard that we're going to test out right now. Let's go ahead and open this up. Get the battery compartment out. We've got the timer. I'm going to go ahead and set this to test. Okay, it's counting down. So let's back up, see what it's going to do. Thing throws it, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this kitchen used to be a dance hall. Music on and the lights off, just you and I. Used to be perfume on your pillow, new day through the window, bringing out the blue in your eyes. Used to be 4 boots by the front door, but 2 ain't there anymore.
As you guys can see, this little feeder right here is jam-packed with a ton of features. I'm sorry we're losing light here, so I apologize, but this feeder is jam-packed with a ton of features, a huge upgrade from your standard feeder that you're using now, and it's going to benefit your deer, your turkey, your wildlife today. So check them out, outcastfeeders.com. I'll put them right here. I'll link them below as well. If you got any questions on installation, shoot me a message. I'll be glad to help you, walk you through it, but they've got a great video as well on their YouTube channel. Go like, share, subscribe. Let them know the Mojo family likes the Outcast products. And if you bought one and you got testimonials, shoot them a message as well. They'd love to share that. But huge shout out again to Outcast, the family over there, the folks. They are super nice. This video was not possible without you guys. So catch us always on the next one. We got a lot more content coming down the pipe, whether it's deer, turkeys, waterfowl, gear, gun reviews, whatever it is. We'll catch you guys on the next one.